Well, hello, and welcome into episode 6 of Mystery in the Ozarks. This is the book that I'm writing and reading to you as I write it. If you haven't watched the first few episodes, you might go back and do that because you'll be a little bit confused. No changes from this last week. This episode might be a little shorter. Not might be, it is a little shorter. I wasn't really feeling really great today, and I didn't really want to force myself too much, if you know what I mean. I want this story to really flow as it is. So, hope you guys enjoy. Here we go. Oh, and really quick, today's video has a sponsor. It's bookboomalive.com. They handle all sorts of editing, book coaching, writing coaching, anything you can think of to do with the writing or author industry, they'll help you out. Go check them out. It's bookboomalive.com. And if you have any questions at all, feel free to send me a message. I'll help you out. Chapter 10, The Fish Fry. Oh, we don't want to impose, Linda began. Angie cut her off mid-sentence. No imposition at all. We have plenty of fish and plenty of chairs. Grab a seat, she said as she pointed to the ring of lawn chairs over by the stone fire pit. Linda looked back at Trent, who shrugged his shoulders, indicating he was okay with the idea. Okay, I guess we can stay for a few, Linda replied as they made their way over to the chairs to have a seat. Oh, perfect, Angie said as she followed the two over. So how long has it been? At least what, 10, 15 years? Angie peppered Linda excitedly with questions as they got seated. Before she could even answer, Angie turned and hollered towards the cornhole set. Hey, Mike, Linda and Trent Foster are here. You remember from high school? Yeah, hi y'all. I'll be over in a minute. I have to finish whooping up on Jim, Mike hollered back and waved from across the yard as he launched a beanbag towards the wooden cornhole board. Those two are always arguing over who is better, Angie added with a laugh. Jake had been watching this all unfold in shock. The people who were after the treasure were also my parents' old high school friends? His thoughts raced with all the questions he had from the overload of information he had received today. Jake, Carol, and Will all exchanged several confused looks while bursting with wanting to ask all the questions that were racing in their minds. Hey Jake, come meet Linda and Trent, Angie's voice cut into her son's thoughts. Okay, yep, coming Mom, Jake replied. As the words left his mouth, his eyes met Linda's for the first time since their arrival at the cabin. It seemed as if neither Trent nor Linda had noticed the kids until this moment. Wait, that's your son Jake? Linda's shrill voice cut the air like a knife as she looked directly at Jake, immediately recognizing them all from earlier in the day. Yep, that's my Jake, Angie replied with a smile as Jake made his way over to the lawn chairs. Wasn't this a small world? Linda continued as he walked up. We met them up on the hill just a little bit ago. Oh, you did? Angie replied. Yep, we're up at Phipps Waterfall looking for the treasure. Trent tried to pipe up, but was cut off before finishing the word treasure by Linda elbowing him. She turned to Angie and said, sorry, Trent was talking about the waterfall. The waterfall's like a treasure to our family. It's named after our great-grandpa, Hayden Phipps, Linda said quickly. Oh, I didn't know that, Angie replied excitedly. Yes, that's why we come here. He actually was the first that built that cabin over there, Linda added as she pointed to the cabin where the McDonalds were staying. She then turned and said, it's nice to finally meet you, Jake. The last time I saw you, you were a newborn baby. Linda continued as she reached out to shake his hand. He smiled and shook her hand back. Oh, and this is her brother Trent, Angie added as she pointed to him. Jake shook his hand as well and took a seat next to his mother, so she was between him and the Fosters. So Linda and Trent and me and your father all went to high school together. And then I think a few years after high school, y'all moved away, right? Like Clarksville, maybe? Angie asked as she looked at Linda. Yep, that's correct, Linda replied. We left for Clarksville shortly after you had Jake, from what I remember. Yeah, that sounds about right, Angie added as she looked up, lost in memories for a moment. Man, those were some fun times. She added as she sat back in her chair and sighed. Well, what have y'all been up to? What brings y'all out this way? We're actually celebrating the life of my grandfather. We're actually celebrating the life of our grandfather, Linda replied. Oh, we're doing the same, but, well, for my dad, Angie said. He loved coming here to visit, and he was crazy about this place. And Dad asked that we spread his ashes up on the mountain. Oh, well, we aren't spreading ashes. We're just here to see the great place that he loves so much and maybe learn a little bit more about Linda thought for a quick second. Family heritage, she added. Yeah, the family heritage, Trent echoed from his chair. Oh yeah, so tell me more about your great, was it? Hayden Phipps. You said he built our cabin? Was he from around here? Why did they name a waterfall after him? Angie asked excitedly. Oh, well, it's a long story, Linda replied. I don't want to ramble on about him. Well, we have time, right, Jake? Angie added as she slapped her son on his knee. Jake smiled and awkwardly said, Yep, of course. Carol and Will had been standing in shock watching the drama unfold like they were eating popcorn at a movie theater. Will heard the worry in Jake's voice when he replied, and it snapped him out of his trance. He looked at Carol and whispered, Hey, should we go help him? Hey, we should go help him, right? Carol blinked her eyes and then shook her head in agreement. Yeah. Hey, can we come listen? It sounds neat, Will loudly said towards the group, trying to think of a good reason. Well, sure, y'all can take a break and join as well, Angie replied. Carol and Will made their way over to the chairs next to Will and took a seat. Next to Jake and took a seat. All right. Tell us all about Hayden, Angie said, smiling at Linda. Oh, well, if you insist, Linda replied with a proud smile. So, our great-great-grandfather was Hayden Phipps, she said as she began her speech. We believe he did build that cabin back in the 1880s from what history we recently found. The only issue is the history from that time period is very fragmented. However, Hayden Phipps is most famously known for being the right-hand man of Jesse James.